I'll be honest, fellas, it was sounding great, but I could have used a little more cowbell.
It's time to jump into DraftKings. Go to DraftKings today at DraftKings.com. Golf, NASCAR, soccer, you name it. And of course, Major League Baseball, basketball, hockey, and football. Go to DraftKings.com. Listen to the Armchair Quarterbacks for DFS advice all year round.
Oh, wow. I'm pretty sure that's going to be there it is. Another flag on the play.
Multiple flags on the play. Holding. Offense number 97. That penalty was declined. Touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense number 22. Penalty will be applied to the kickoff.
This is going to be one of the strangest calls.
That son of a... You playing against Dick this week?
Yeah.
Could be worse, man. When I played against him, he ejected all my players.
What?
Armchair.
Lager, the beer that brought the forest down.
I drive an exotic imported sports car. I eat exotic foreign food like frankfurters and pizza. But when it comes to numbing my mind, I'm a patriot. I drink the beer that brought the forest down. I'm a lager man. And with the new 80-bottle Trump pack, you've got enough for the evening. Hey, it's happy hour somewhere.
Lager brings out the patriot in you.
The Armchair Quarterbacks, ESPN Radio's public enemy number one. Weekdays, your first choice for sports talk here in the Southeast.
What happens when 5 eligible bachelors welcome a little girl into their lives?
Hey, it's my turn in the bathroom.
Non-stop hilarity. My 5 uncles.
Hey, Gina, welcome to your new home. You sleep in there, and we all sleep in here.
The show that shows family values exist even in unconventional families.
Oh, what are you guys doing in there?
Taking hilarious comedy in a whole new funny direction.
I don't get it. Why don't any of you guys have a steady girlfriend? I'm an emotionally abused orphan. Can I get in on any of these group hugs?
My 5 uncles. Thursday nights on LSBC.
I only had a brain.
You're riding Morning Shotgun, your first choice for sports talk here on the First Coast, only on
Armchair.
We live in a world now that welcomes and nurtures the screwball in all of us. Hey, it's a new decade, people. Time to get a little nutty. Treat yourself to Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey, a smooth flavor that combines 2 of America's favorites, peanut butter and American whiskey. So no more social awkwardness. Time to embrace who you truly are. Get out there and make friends. And be sure it starts with Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. It's available nearly everywhere. Learn more at screwballwhiskey.com. Infinium Spirits. Please enjoy responsibly.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and flat out deceived.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
But what the hell, boy?
Make sure to listen to the Armchair Quarterbacks. Good enough for us down here in the bayou. Go Tigers and the Armchair Quarterbacks.
It's morning.
Yes, and what a lovely morning.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No, it's Casual Friday.
Casual Friday, what does that mean?
That means we just dress like we would at home.
But you're not at home.
No, but it is Casual Friday. So.
Yeah, I know. You told me that already. What do you do on Casual Friday?
Well, we just come in and do our work, but we dress casually.
I don't like it.
Well, it's just one day of the week.
I don't give a damn if it's half a day a week. I don't like it. I'm here to change my will. A lot of money is involved. It's very important to me.
Oh, we wouldn't treat you casually.
Then why the hell you dress that
It's
way?
just-
I want you to be on cutting edge, man, whenever you're handling my business.
This is cutting
I
edge.
don't need this crap. You look like a cowboy. You're JR, huh? Joel Reynolds, right?
Look, you
belong in Dallas, not LA.
I'm sorry, please.
You should.
Just understand that
You should be sorry because you just lost my account. You go wrangle somebody else's. Thank you very much. Son of a bitch.
If you come back on a Monday or a Tuesday.
Armchair.
CBS Sports Radio.
You're listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks on CBS Sports Radio, #1 sports station.
Good morning, and this is your Armchair Quarterbacks Sports Flash. Rich Carlisle resigned as head coach of the Dallas Mavericks on Thursday, ending his 13-year tenure one day after the departure of longtime president of basketball operations, Donnie Nelson. These were two of the key figures from the franchise's 2010-2011 championship team. Carlisle had this to say, quote, "After a number of in-person conversations with Mark Cuban over the last week, today I informed him that I will not be returning as head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. This was solely my decision. My family and I have had an amazing 13-year experience working with great people in a great city." Carlisle, 61 years old, said it had been an honor to work alongside several members of the Mavs organization, specifically naming Cuban, Nelson, Marshall, the vice president of basketball operations, Michael Finley, assistant GM Keith Grant, and the co-stars of the 2010-2011 championship team, Dirk Nowitzki, and of course Jason Kidd. Carlisle added, quote, "Dallas will always be home, but I am excited about the new chapter of my coaching career," end quote. Carlisle, who had an 836-689 career record, having been the head coach for the Pistons and Indiana Pacers before arriving in Dallas in 2008. In the NBA tonight, the Eastern Conference Finals continue. It's Game 6. Atlanta is trying to end it all for the 76ers season. They lead 3-2. That game tips off at 7:30 on the 4-letter network. And at 10 p.m. Eastern, it's the Jazz and Clippers. Do or die for Donovan Mitchell and company as they trail the Clips 3-2 in the series. The game is in Los Angeles and on ESPN. In the National Hockey League Stanley Cup semifinals, it's the Golden Knights at the Montreal Canadiens, marking the first time an American team has hit Canadian soil since the beginning of the pandemic in 2020. Winner of tonight's game takes a 2-1 series lead. Major League Baseball gets going tonight. You got some big series. The Oakland A's are in Yankee Stadium at 7:05 first pitch. And at 7:20, the Cardinals are at the Atlanta Braves. Max Fried versus Carlos Martinez. The Marlins are at the Cubs at 8:05. Zach Davies up against Pablo Lopez and his 3.12 ERA. The Boston Red Sox and Nick Pivetta, 8:10 Eastern. They head to Kansas City to take on Jackson Kowar and his 36 ERA as he goes to make his third start in the major leagues. Better get it together. At 10:10 Eastern on ESPN Plus, the Tampa Bay Rays are at the Mariners. Michael Wacha versus Kikuchi. Other games of interest around the league. Mets and Nats, 7:05 Eastern. Joe Ross takes the mound versus Lachesi. White Sox and Astros, 8:10 Eastern. Carlos Rodon with his 1.89 ERA in the middle of June versus Garcia and his 2.98 ERA. Corbin Burns and the Brewers are at the Rockies at 8:40. Trevor Bauer's on the mound for the LA Dodgers as they invade Arizona. Phillies and Giants at 9:45. Johnny Cueto up against Vincent Velasquez. And the nightcap is a good one. The Reds against the Padres. This weekend, the College World Series begins. At 2 o'clock Eastern on Saturday, ESPN, it's number 16 NC State versus number 7 Stanford. And at 7 Eastern on ESPN, Vanderbilt is the home team up against the Arizona Wildcats. And on Sunday, 2 o'clock Eastern, this will be on ESPN2, the Virginia Cavaliers up against the Tennessee Volunteers, number 2 in the land. And at 7 Eastern on ESPN2, the number 3 Texas Longhorns take on the number 11 Mississippi State Bulldogs. The Cowbells and the Hook'em Horns face off once again. And that's your Armchair Quarterback Sports Flash. Stay tuned for the Armchair Quarterbacks radio show and YouTube Live. Please like, subscribe, and share our show today. The Armchair Quarterbacks, your first choice for sports talk, live from the First Coast. Good morning. It's time to wake up, y'all. You're listening to the Armchair Quarterback Show. We're here weekdays on CBS Radio, YouTube Live, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. The Armchair Quarterback Show, your first choice for Southern Sports Talk. Good morning, Mr. Justin Waller.
Good morning. I don't know much, but I know one thing. If you've had to make a large or major purchase here recently, you've noticed inflation sucks. It's an unavoidable hidden tax. That's all I got to say about that.
Consequences of your actions, right? I'm Mac McGinn. I don't know much, but I know one thing. Matt Nagy says that Andy Dalton will be the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears in 2021. My ass. You're listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks.
I see, yes. Little Miss Candy Bar paid a visit, didn't she?
Kramer, it is not what you think.
I know what I think. I think you're gaga over this dame. She's twisted you around her little finger, and now you're willing to sell me and Elaine and whoever else you have to right down the river.
And what about you? Trying to bilk an innocent bystander out of a family fortune built on sweat and toil, manufacturing quality O. Henry candy bars for honest, hardworking Americans.
You're just out for sex.
You're just out for money.
Armchair.
Community Access Channel.
He's the armchair quarterback. He's full of beer and he's full of snacks. The all-American man.
Hey, howdy, hi, top of the morning to you. Welcome to the Armchair Quarterback Radio Show. Mac McGee sitting alongside Justin Waller. Justin, how the hell are you this morning, sir?
Broke but comfortable. Broke but comfortable.
What purchase did you?
AC, man. AC.
Oh.
Adulting sucks, man. Like, brace yourself. If you've never gone through that before, that is a unique experience, having estimates for an HVAC replacements. The wild spectrum of diagnosis and analysis is amazing. I feel like somebody is trying to teach me rotisserie baseball.
Yeah, I think they're trying to teach you home insurance that covers that crap. Before we bought a house, I was kind of oblivious to that. I mean, I knew about it, right? But I didn't. Whatever. Not my problem. I rent everything, right? When we bought our house, we had to fight. I mean, fight with the sellers about getting a new unit. Absolutely had to dogfight with them. And so long story short, we got it covered as well, because you can imagine in Florida, your AC blows out. I mean, you might as well just move. I mean, there's no point of sitting. It's a wrap. It's just going to be rubble in like 3 weeks anyways. Yeah. The homeless will come in here. It'll be over, because I'm not sitting in this house for 3 weeks, much less 3 hours without AC. I mean, we'll literally be doing this show from my pool. I don't know how we'll do it, but we'll do it.
Like MTV Live back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Spring break pool party.
And nobody wants to see that.
Well,
So-
I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure there's a category or demographic that is into that.
I'm gonna need a hell of a filter, is all I know. That's and I'm not that savvy. So the NHL playoffs last night, the Lightning get a big win in New York. They take a 2-1 series lead. I'm not gonna say it's do or die tomorrow night in Nassau County Coliseum, but that could be the last game ever played there if they don't win tomorrow. Because if they don't win tomorrow and they go back to Tampa with a 3-1 lead ish, and 2 of the next 3 would be in Tampa, that would be a tall order. It could be the last game ever played there tomorrow night if they don't get a W. And then tonight we got the Habs and Canadiens, and everyone thought the Habs were dead, and Montreal. I said the Habs and Canadiens. The Habs are the Canadiens. The Habs and the Knights. Montreal went into Vegas a couple of nights ago and rocked them. I think just absolutely shell shocked. Not just Vegas fans, but I think, well, first of all, the betting public got rocked because it was minus 300 on the win line. But I just think a lot of fans were starting to think that maybe Vegas was unstoppable and that Montreal might have been a bit of a fraud. Now we get a series. I hate the fact that it keeps starting to seem so damn late, but it's 9:00 tonight. At least it's a Friday. I can stay up a little later on Friday. We don't do our Saturday morning shows till
8 for you this week, I believe. I believe it's 8 tonight on the Eastern.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a 7 Central, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, well, that's even better news, and they changed that because when I looked at it a couple of days ago, it was 9 Eastern. So that's even better news. Yeah, you're right. All right, awesome. Thank God.
Well, not sure what warranted that. Maybe it was a network change because they're going to be on USA.
You know, it's actually in Montreal that they're playing it early. But do they think people stay up later on Wednesday night than they do on Friday night? What the hell is the NHL doing? Hey, that's a different topic. Between that and then Saturday night's game, what say you on the NHL playoffs?
I'm excited about it. I think the Canadians did what they had to do. They stole a game on the road. Now they've got to come home and try and hold serve and protect home ice. You don't want to let Vegas take their home field advantage or home ice advantage back by stealing one on the road, which is what the Islanders just allowed to happen in their series. So I look for the Islanders to even it up. I think we're going to have 2 long series. I don't think we'll be fortunate enough to get 2 game 7s. That would be phenomenal, but I think we'll have a game 6 and a game 7.
I hope so. I hope we don't get two series. Look, the Tampa Bay Islander thing, I really can't lose because I grew up as a kid as an Islander fan, and then I have been drawn towards the Tampa Bay Lightning since I've lived here in Florida for the last several years. I'm torn on who I want to win. It's kind of the nostalgia in me is pulling more for the Islanders, but I'm not going to be that upset if the Lightning move on. Also, the Lightning just won it, so it's got something to do with that as well. And the fact that it's the last year in Nassau County Coliseum, which is where I saw my first hockey match. It's also where I first saw my first rock and roll concert years and years ago, Billy Joel. But the man, if it goes like 5 games on both these series, it's gonna be terribly disappointing. I want to see it drag out a little bit, but I'm with you. Like if we get 1 game 7, I'll be jumping for joy.
It could be the greatest finals ever if we could get 2 game 7, or of recent memory. Let me just put it that way. If we could get 2 game 7s, because that would be phenomenal. All out for a chance to go play for a cup.
Don't ever say ever, because there's always like that one guy to give something,
right?
You know.
But yeah, I'm leaning a little
63 when I
want to see the fresh blood. I'm really pulling for the Islanders Canadians matchup. I think it would be unique. I think it would be a great series, and really, I just want to see Barry Trotz rub his nose in the Nashville management that he now has 2 rings before Nashville has reclaimed 1. So way to let him go there. And if he doesn't win 1, then maybe my captain, Shea Weber, can gain 1 with the Canadians. So it's a win-win for me if I can get that matchup.
Yeah, I'm with you. And then if it's Tampa Bay versus Tampa Bay Vegas is probably more appealing to me than Tampa Bay Montreal. I don't even know why. New York Montreal is the most appealing to me, but for some reason, if it's Tampa Bay versus the Canadians, it's not as intriguing to me as if it's Tampa Bay versus Vegas, mainly because I just don't like Vegas, and I would be really more into that per se. New York versus Vegas, okay, I'm gonna be into that obviously, but the one matchup I don't want to see is Tampa Bay versus Vegas. I mean Montreal. I don't know why, but it wouldn't be as appealing to me. I'm sure I'm in the minority here. Michael said he had to replace his roof 2 years ago for $5,000. So that's what $27,000 today. Is that how that works?
Yeah. Get some duct work estimated. Don't forget the AC. I mean, the AC's fine. You find one in stock, you buy the thing. It's a little bit higher price. You know, you learn to deal with those things. I mean, you want to buy a house now, it costs more than what I did 16 years ago when I bought this house. But the duct work, geez Louise, that can cost more than the unit.
It might be cheaper just to live a little farther north in the winter. I mean, in the summer months than to replace your AC, because they're fleeing all these northern cities. So you might get a hell of a deal on. I guarantee you can get a hell of a deal on a house somewhere in Minneapolis right now. I guarantee you that there's a steal there.
Well, I mean, it better have good AC because you can't go outside.
They said the other day they closed down 17 Walgreens in the San Francisco Bay Area over the last 3 years because the crime rate has gotten so bad where the and this is the Pelosi district, and I won't go into the whole politics of it, but the point is they have okayed all these laws where they're essentially not doing anything to shoplifters, okay? And Walgreens essentially said, what the hell with this? If you're not going to have our back, why? And there, of course, everyone's crying the blues and say, oh, you're not going to get the basic needs in your area, da-da-da-da. Then step up. Because if I put a freaking business in somewhere and you're not going to help me any way, shape, or form to defend it, why would I? Why?
Yeah, because you could go anywhere else and pay less tax dollars and have municipalities with that tax dollars actually service and take care of your business. Whereas in California, you pay higher taxes and you don't receive the same services. Right. So, yeah, I mean, it's really head scratching when you look up and wonder, why are these becoming ghost towns?
Yeah. And there's no.
It's like looking at me and asking why I don't run a 440. I mean, you just scratch your head and wonder, don't you? You're just like, I don't know, buddy.
And to add to that, it's the most expensive city to live in the free world. So there's that going on too. So good for you, San Francisco. Way to run things. Let's go diving into real quick the U.S. Open because we got to get to Middle Tennessee State football. The first round is in the books, obviously, and you got some big names that are atop the leaderboard, but Phil Mickelson is on he's dangerously close to not making the cut, and he's going to have a good day today. He's going to have to do probably because they're projecting the cut's probably going to be somewhere around 1 to 2 over par. I don't know if that's actually going to be the truth because they'll say that all the time in the U.S. Open, and those greens are so difficult and the rough is so difficult that sometimes they'll project it at 2 and it's closer to 4. But the point is, he is at 4 over par. And if the cut line is, we'll just say 2, he's going to have to shoot 2 under. And the way he played yesterday, I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, that's 6-stroke difference.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult to overcome. And there's weather out there as well, is there not?
I believe so. I've been trying to look.
I know they're resuming at 6:50 Pacific this morning.
Right.
But I believe it was shut down, and I know it was shut down last night, and I think it was due to weather. So I don't know how the course will play. If it's slow and it allows him to be aggressive with his short game, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility for him to be able to make the cut, but it's not looking favorable. But it looks like we could have an exciting shootout up top. Everybody's kind of paired together, and we know that you can put up some scores on this. So I think this will stay pretty competitive through the weekend. I'm really looking forward to catching some of it.
I'm hoping I'm looking right now at the San Diego weather, and they are expecting very, very little rain. I mean, they're talking about 6 to 8%. So typical Southern California weather. So that should be okay today. The other thing that we're not going to get, we may not get Phil on the weekend. We may not get Bryce DeChambeau on the weekend. He's 3 over going into today. And we were hoping we might see a final match on Sunday where it's DeChambeau and Koepka going on. Koepka's playing really well, 2 under par. He's tied for for fifth. There's like 4 or 5 guys tied for fifth. John Rahm, Schauffele, Matsuyama. They're all sitting there at 2 under. And then McIlroy, he's hanging in there. He's 1 under. Do you have any faith in Henley, or how do they pronounce this guy's name? Ustathesen? I always screw that guy's name up. The 2 guys that are tied at the top -4, right? Do you have any faith that these guys are there at the end? The Ustathesen, I guarantee you, ends up winning because I can't pronounce his damn name, so he's going to win the championship.
Oosthuizen, possibly. Henley, I don't follow enough to know a lot about the young man. So,
dude, when I saw Henley, United States, top leaderboard, say, Don, is that you? Bubba Watson 1 over. Other names of interest. Finau is 3 over par. Morikawa, disappointing. He's 4 over. And Jordan Spieth. This guy cannot get out of his own way. He's 5 over par. He had a terrible round yesterday. He had a little bad luck, but all in all, I was hoping Spieth would. I really want Spieth to do well. Maybe I'm just romanticizing what he did. Has it been 4 or 5 years at this point? Maybe it's been even longer. But I really wish he would. I don't think he's going to make the cut. John Rahm, I'm glad to see him playing well, and I'm glad to see Koepka. If Rahm and Koepka are up there going strong in the weekend, it's going to keep my interest quite a bit. What about you? Because I know you're more of a Tiger fan than anything else. Is there a storyline you're that's going to grab you more than anything else? Or, in other words, are you going to watch no matter what, or is it going to have to be X, and Y playing at the end for to really grab you?
It'll really have to be certain players to grab me on the end, but Sunday I'll tune in. It honestly would take DJ or Rory to be a top and make a charge for me to be just locked in must-see TV, especially at Torrey Pines. I mean, Torrey Pines without Tiger, being a Tiger fan is really just lackluster. I mean, considering the things we've seen out of him on this course. So it's good for the field, I think, just because he has dominated in this. It makes it nice that I'm hoping we see a good cluster on Sunday, that we have multiple options for a win. And hopefully one of those guys in that cluster is Roy or DJ.
All right, well, let's go ahead and dive into Middle Tennessee State football. And luckily, it's going to be a short segment. We're going to run out of time, so thank God we don't have to talk about this for very long, because this looks pretty depressing this year. Justin, what say you?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I'm trying to figure out how to get them to 6-6, but man, old Stockstill's got his hands full. This schedule is not favorable, and man, it's going to be tough. He's going to need excellent quarterback play, and he's going to have a stud out of the backfield. He has one, but he's going to need a 2-headed monster that can just really take over games and not wear down and offer offensive support for them to stay in there.
Chase Cunningham's going to be the quarterback today, this year, and he's a redshirt junior. Look, last year you almost have to throw it out the window as far as what went down because of all the COVID protocols went up, but they were bad. They were bad. I remember being excited to see the first, because college football, we didn't know it was going to happen. And I remember watching some MTSU games early on. I was like, oh, this is not what I remember. Because usually Stockstill has a pretty good program, and they were definitely hurting losing their quarterback last year. And I think it's really all going to ride on whether or not Chase Cunningham can succeed this year, because this is a team that's going to put up points, or that's how the offense is designed. Their defense has never been that elite, so they're going to have to put up points to keep up. They do start the very first game of the year at home against Monmouth. You think that's a winnable game. Then they go to Virginia Tech. Ugh. And although Virginia Tech is known to choke some freaking old Dominions away, right? But that's a tough road to go into Blacksburg.
And that's the problem. That starts off 5 of the next 6 weeks are on the road for MTSU.
And the only one at home is Marshall.
Yeah, exactly. And those road games, you've got Virginia Tech, at Liberty, at UConn. UConn's not a powerhouse, but it's still for Conference US team. That's a good travel. And at Western Kentucky. So not a favorable road schedule for them.
I'm almost thinking what this is this is a good old fashioned. We're trying to make some money back with all these road games this year. And it's a straight rebuild for me for MTSU. They're going to be building towards next year, knowing they're going to take their lumps, but they took some payouts to go on the road because a lot of these road games we're looking at, they're not conference games, right? And so they're just they have what, 1, 2, 3, they have 5 total home games in a 12-game season, and one of them is Monmouth. So they should win that one. Boy, if they don't win that one, man, I don't even know if I'll turn it on past that. I'll probably miss that one because it's 7:00 Saturday night opening weekend. Oh, by the way, Clemson, Georgia's kicking off around that time, and I'll be in Nashville. So unless I actually go to the damn game somehow, I get on the wrong bus and woo, let's go. Must let you out. Wait a minute.
Since the last time you were on campus, you can now buy a wristband and participate in a beverage.
They probably still have pictures of me up there. Have you seen this? I don't know how close I should get to campus. I did some pretty wild and stupid stuff around that campus.
I guess my point was you can legally drink now on campus. So it's kind of it's a very uncomfortable but comfortable feeling when you finally get to sit in the stadium there.
That never stopped me before. I've been to a few MTSU games. I wouldn't say a lot, but we usually tried to make it to one a year. And I vividly remember getting kicked out of an MTSU, I think it was Austin P game, where we spilled. And look, normally you would bring you'd bring whiskey in, right? But we were hammered on whiskey, go into the stadium, and it snuck beer bottles in with us. And
great idea.
And me and the guy that I was with and his buddy too, I forget his name, all simultaneously, almost within like 2 seconds of each other, we all dropped our damn beers and they made a loud crash. It was like ping, ping, pash. And everyone looked at it like, we got to go. there's no getting out of this one. We were beelining out the door. Security was, hey, we need to talk to you. I was like, nah, no autographs, please. I gave it the office. So yeah, that's
it was a satisfying feeling to sit down and be able to sip a cold brew and know that they couldn't ask me to leave or escort me out. That was felt like life had come full circle.
We did share redheaded sluts with one of the security guys, which is a drink, by the way, y'all. It's not the video that you think it is. It's a drink that they make at Dirty Gems. We did share redheaded sluts with one of the guys. We didn't know it at the time. That was chasing us out of the stadium. They weren't really chasing us. They were just briskly walking. We need to talk to you. And they weren't going to actually touch us, but they chased us in the way of like, if we would have stopped, they would have tried to apprehend us kind of thing. Later on that night, we were at Dirty Gems and we were drinking with one of the guys. And he realized who we were. We realized who he was. And so, because I don't know if you remember doing that, but we used to go in to Dirty Gems to get these big foam cups.
Oh yeah, they still have to go the cups.
Okay, and you would do. They call them redhead sluts because it was some kind of redhead. It was some kind of red drink. I forget what it was in there. And then there was something else. Like those were the two main ones. And we went and got that because what they do, y'all, is they give you this big cup and then you just kind of pour it out into little cups that they hand you. So you get this big Gafus one. Every once in a while, you'd walk in and there'd be a guy sitting there sucking on one of them by himself. You're like, stay away from that dude, man. There's going to be nothing but problems over here, man.
Or you just know that bar stool is about to be open. You're like, yeah. I'm about to sit there as soon as he falls.
Either stay away from him or go ahead and smack him in the teeth right now because there's going to be an issue. You might as well get in front of it. What's your walk-off for the day, sir?
Big baseball weekend for the Mid-State. Going to be locked in completely on that. At Vandy and Tennessee both in. So, why not bring an MLB team?
Yeah, I wish we could have gotten more to it. We'll definitely talk about that more on Monday. Kind of ran out of time, but man, I would love to see a Vandy Tennessee championship. So
I'm really enjoying this because it's got the Vandy fans flustered, and there's not much that Tennessee flusters the Vandy fans, but being successful in baseball, the one that they have dominated is really, it's kind of like when James Franklin rose to power and started winning a little bit here, and you had to take a little heat, and it was like, beat us, and then you can say something, Tennessee fans. Well, Vanderbilt's got that. They've got the edge up on Tennessee. We haven't competed at their level yet, but just to see it get back in, it's really exciting for baseball and in the state here. I'm excited to see that because traditionally this has been a football state, and to see the powers turn more and more towards baseball, it's really unique and fun to watch. Because I think, like you, we're in agreements. That was both our first love, and if I have one sport, I'm going baseball all the way.
Yeah, I akin it to when the Vols finally beat Alabama with Peyton Manning after so many years of losing, and it was like, shut up. Just stop it. And then, that was short-lived. All right, brother. We'll see you Monday.
See ya. Have a great Father's Day weekend, everyone.
Enjoyed our New Year's resolutions. We'd all have 6-packs, money in our saving accounts, and we'd know how to play the piano. I have to tell you about the one resolution I actually enjoy. It's Built Bar. It's delicious. Oh, yeah, it's healthy too. Built Bar is healthier than your favorite protein bar. They're low-cal, low sugar, high protein, high fiber, great for the keto diet. Lose or maintain weight while indulging. And with only 4 net carbs and 150 calories, there's no guilt. Visit BuiltBar.com.
Hi, friend. It's your home speaking, and I need some favors. Could you turn on some of the lights in the basement? I'm scared of the dark. Also, this one is easy. Could you bundle your home and car insurance with Geico so we could save money? Last thing, just a suggestion. Could you steam clean the carpets? I need a spa day.
Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com today.
This year, choose a yogurt that's right for you. With 2 grams of sugar per 5.3-ounce serving. Too Good Greek yogurt is too good to be true. So Delicious dairy-free yogurt and Silk yogurt alternatives are delicious plant-based swaps you can enjoy by the spoon or add to recipes. Oikos 000 yogurt and Light and Fit yogurt are tasty, non-fat yogurt options. So many flavors, varieties, and possibilities. Elevate any recipe and your everyday with yogurt. Shop at Target.
Morning. Morning's here. The morning's here. Sunshine's here. The sky's clear. The morning's here.
Armchair.
Community Access Channel.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
Look, you can stay here in the big leagues and play by the rules, or you can go back to the farm club in Aurora. It's your choice.
Yes, and it's the choice of a new generation.
I've been hoodwinked. I've been bamboozled. Left for dead. I've been plagued by refusal.
You're good.
Good morning. Welcome back into the Armchair Quarterbacks. How the hell are you, Mr. Carr?
Good morning, man. Doing good. Good to be here on Friday morning.
So yeah, this is the Stanley Hudson t-shirt.
I love it. All
right. I saw that. We were at one of the. Do y'all have Buc-ee's up in Tennessee yet?
No.
Oh my God. It's the most dangerous thing you'll ever find.
Compared to a store.
Okay, so you've been on vacation in like Florida where they have a bunch of stuff that you don't need, but it's really cool.
Right.
Okay? Imagine a ginormous version of that that's also a gas station. Okay. And then they also have a crap ton of food in there. They've got like a real cafeteria in there, or I don't know if you want to call it cafeteria because it's a centralized type thing. But what's the name of the gas station that sells the pizza sticks next to the courthouse? Imagine a much bigger and better version of Dodge's food area as well.
Nice.
So
no, I love that shirt. That's great.
So a few weeks ago, if you saw me post on social media saying, say you're old without saying you're old, me and the wife went on a field trip to a gas station.
I did see that.
Because I had been in one randomly years before, heading back from a Florida State game. And anyways, I told her about it and she was like, what? I said, okay. And she looked it up. She's like, it does look cool. And then several years later, we get one in Jacksonville, but it's not that close to us. It's off the beaten path. It's off of I-95 heading south towards Daytona. But we were out doing something else. And I was like, we're not that far from it. Let's go.
Let's go to the gas station.
Yeah, exactly. And we go in there, dude, the place is huge and it's packed. Like the store itself, along with its actual parking area, it's like the size of a super Walmart. It's ridiculous. The building itself is not that big. The building itself is probably the size of like it's almost like a really big, updated, cooler version of Stuckey's. Okay.
Okay.
Stuckey's.
Yeah.
So, anyways, if you ever see a Buc-ee's, and you'll know because there's a freaking there's like a beaver on the animal on the on the billboard. And as you get close to any of them, it's like anything in Florida. You see like 7 billboards before you ever hit. You're like, the hell is this Buc-ee's? What are they? Great marketing. And you go in there, it's clean, everyone's nice, like a Publix. I mean, it's crazy. It's not your typical gas station, but they have all this junk in there. And one of the things we saw were these office shirts. And we're like, you know what? Let's not buy it here because they're going to charge you an arm and a leg. Let's see if we can find it online. And she found this one online because I told her, I was like, that's the one I really like. But they didn't have it in my size. If they would have had it in my size, I would have paid $78 or whatever the hell they were charging for the t-shirt there. But anyways, we found it online somewhere. I've got another really cool one that I'll wear next week that you'll like because it's I couldn't believe they made this thing. But anyways,
have you seen the one with Michael Jordan versus Michael Scott?
You mean like a t-shirt?
Yeah.
No.
It's Michael Jordan, like it's Michael Scott in his game day uniform, like the same episode as Stanley Hudson, and like Michael Jordan's like posting Michael Scott up. It's pretty funny.
No, I have not seen that. That would be fun as hell. They had some Michael Scott ones in there, but this was my favorite one because when that happens, when that goes down in that episode, and he just automatically puts Stanley in because he's black, and he first gets the ball and he starts dribbling like this. For y'all who don't know what I'm talking about, he looks like an 87-year-old grandmother dribbling the ball. So I don't know if that actor can play basketball or if he's really good at acting at not being able to play basketball. But the clip of that's hilarious because as it's going down, Michael goes, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" Oh. Type of stuff that if they did it today, everyone would have a freaking stroke over.
Oh, 1,000%, man.
They got to bring that back, that kind of comedy if you're going to get people to watch, though. I'm just telling you. It's comedy, and you can get away with it, and someone's going to have the balls to do stuff like that to be able to bring back people. Because right now, I turn on sitcoms like none of this is funny. It's not funny, and stand-up comedians aren't funny right now because they're all scared to other than like Bill Burr, they're all like walking on eggshells.
Right.
The ones that have made her like, screw you, I can say whatever the heck I want to. But
you know what's funny? Speaking of that, I guess I was looking at some tours at Zany's coming up next month, or just happened or whatever. But Louis C.K. is back touring.
Is he?
Yeah. So
he get in trouble?
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I totally buy that because that dude's kind of fugly. I could see him being a creeper.
Yeah, that was. But I'm just saying, like, it's kind of like.
I didn't know that he got in trouble with that. I knew he had a sitcom that wasn't very good, but his stand-up was always pretty good. And so, okay, that makes sense. I know they did that to what's his name, James Franco.
Yeah.
And have you kept up with this over the last few months where Seth Rogen's thrown him under the bus?
Yeah,
That was
he's
supposed
like
to be his boy. That was supposed to be his boy. And it's one thing to say, I don't want to comment on that. Da, 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 da. It's another thing to say, I'm embarrassed to have done films with them.
well, he wrote a book, so he's trying to promote his book, so that's not a surprise.
No, but I'm just if there's a bigger low life in this country than Seth Rogen, it's got to be Chrissy Teigen. And other than that, like they're about the biggest low lifes there are.
Oh, Jimmy Kimmel is not my guy either. So
well, Jimmy Kimmel was never funny without Adam.
Right.
But yeah, Jimmy Kimmel's a freaking putz. He thinks we don't know what he was doing. He took a 3-month hiatus when they found him in blackface and they threw it all over. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going on vacation. Okay, I believe you. Yeah, buddy. And then of course he's always the first one to attack someone. What do they call it? The mob, the social media Twitter mob. He's always the first to attack someone, but they found him in blackface. And I thought it was pretty funny, which really wasn't that long ago. And so for it to take the people this long to find it is what surprised me. All right, let's go ahead and. Oh, by the way, are you going to buy any Hunter Biden paintings? He is now going to be a painter.
I will not.
Little known fact: the painting community, so purchasing and selling of paintings and any kind of art, it is one of the least. What's the best word for it? There are very few rules and regulations on what you can and cannot do as far as the selling of your art. This is setting him up to do something highly sketchy and you have like some paint splattered on a board and someone
unintended.
Right. It's someone in China buys it for $6 billion randomly because he's given them a hell of a deal on something. I'm telling you, the Hunter Biden dude. Yeah, keep an eye on that guy. I'm just saying. I don't care where your politics are. Even his dad's like, we're talking about your son. I have a son. I don't recall that. So, anyways, NBA playoffs. LeBron does his stupid tweet insinuating that the biggest part I have with the tweet is him insinuating that nobody wants to watch the NBA playoffs because there's stars on it. And he's implying that he's the guy that everybody's missing, right?
Right.
Horse crap. I've watched more of the NBA playoffs since he's been eliminated than I have in quite some time. And he's the one, everyone keeps forgetting, he's the one that pushed for that tournament in Orlando. He's the one that, we got to play. And then they got out there and all he did was push his political narrative. And they played in like an AAU tournament, essentially, with no fans in the same. I will never recognize that as a championship. That's why I always refer to him as 3.5. Because that's not a real championship.
Right.
4 or 5 months off the season. Baseball was different. I'll give the Dodgers their due because they never had an extended break in their season, and they did allow fans in the stands when it mattered most, right?
Right.
There's nothing. So anyways, do you believe that junk that people don't want to watch? We don't know the numbers yet. They'll start rolling out shortly, but do you believe that junk that nobody wants to watch because LeBron's not in it and unibrow?
No, and I believe people don't want to hear millionaires say anything really. Just because they had 8 months off, or they had 5 months off, 5-month break last year. And then they played their tournament, and then they had 3 more months off. So they had 8 months off during the year. Now they're complaining about not enough time.
Well, they had 2 months, right? Because they played.
So 7 months.
Because they played into the beginning of October and they came back in the beginning of December. Now, the one thing I will say is I don't understand why they didn't just come back on Christmas Day. Remember they pushed it like 3-4 days before that. It was like the 21st or something like that.
Right.
For some reason, December 22nd is sticking out to me. So I think that's when they came back. I will say they could have waited. They could have waited to play Christmas Day, and maybe like really slowly draw the season in, because you had football going on. No one's watching your sport anyways. They could have really dragged out the regular season to where they start the playoffs around, maybe not wait this late to start the playoffs, but start it at the beginning of June, and you would have all of June, all of July to play, right? And you wouldn't have all your back-to-backs, or I guess they didn't do any back-to-backs, but you wouldn't have, you wouldn't be playing 4 or 5 games in a week, right?
But they didn't want to take a pay cut, so I mean, it's not.
No, I'm saying that the NBA could have dragged the season out.
Right. I mean, but it's going to catch up in the end. One year or the next, it's going to catch up eventually.
I think. Well, no, not if you start late again this coming year, because honestly, no one watches the NBA before Christmas Day. And they only watch Christmas Day, and then they don't watch it again until it gets serious. The diehards will watch it, but as far as like worrying about your overall ratings, they've gotten terrible ratings for decades for during football season. This is their time to shine, so to speak. And I don't know if they were getting pressure, because that's never been released, but I don't know if they were getting pressure by TNT and ESPN/ABC Disney to have it completed by X date, because they're trying to have it done by mid-July, right? I just never understood why you couldn't play this thing into mid August.
But the thing is, you're like me. Regular season, I could care less, man. Like over every year to year, I watch less and less regular season basketball than I did ever.
Right? No, but what I'm saying is, so with that, there's no reason to
bump it up. Yeah.
So in other words, I think you would watch more regular season NBA if it started later. I think one of the reasons why we don't watch a lot of regular season NBA is that when it begins, it's right in the middle of everything, because they've started it earlier and earlier. In most years, they're starting in early October. Nobody's watching basketball in October. It's Major League Baseball's playoffs go number one, and the NFL they're like this, right? And then, of course, you got college football. You don't have time. Even if you wanted to watch a game, you're like, I don't have time for that.
Right.
Georgia and, Alabama's playing tonight. I'm not going to flip over and watch the Bucks play the Nets. Who gives a damn? It's October, right? So that's, that's, I guess what I'm saying is why not start it? We should be finishing these playoffs in August, sometime in August, either the very beginning or the middle. They're reducing the number of preseason games. So you have even less to watch in August now.
Right.
They are incredibly arrogant to think that they can compete with anything with their regular season.
When they signed that TV deal, however many years it was, that was like NBA was hot back then. Now it's like they're not there anymore, man. They've been on decline. And you finally had to bring it to my attention how bad they are on decline like 2 years ago. I didn't realize it, but it's getting harder and harder to watch, man.
I think you should be in the middle of your first-ish round right now when the U.S. Open's playing. Because you're going to lose, I was thinking about that yesterday. You're going to lose a lot of viewers because the U.S. Open is out on the West Coast this year.
Yeah. And I'll be watching that Sunday and Saturday.
Right. So even someone like me who does not watch a lot of golf, I pretty much watch the majors, and then I consider a couple of the others like the TPC, the Memorial as big as the majors kind of thing, right? And I'm curious to see who's going to win. When it comes to the TPC, I'm going to watch it regardless because it's from Jacksonville. When it comes to other ones, like specifically the Memorial, and then always pay attention to the one they do in did I just see something? Hold on. I think we just got some breaking news. Speaking of the NBA, but I don't know how. Kemba Walker dealt to OKC. That just came in for
4 of their draft picks. Awesome. We're back.
No, you're gonna love this. Kemba Walker dealt for Al Horford, and then they said in a draft packages, but they haven't. So we're back, baby. We're back. I thought I saw it. I was like Kemba Walker. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't know you could trade in the middle of the freaking playoffs. If so, why wouldn't they trade Kemba Walker to the Nets? You know, here, dude. Yeah, that's Kemba Walker. And
we got Al Horford, Moses Brown, and a 2023 second round pick
for a package that includes Al Horford. That's all it says.
Yes, it says Moses Brown.
So that tells you right there off the jump that Danny Ainge was more of a Kemba Walker fan, and now that he's gone, I mean, I like Kemba Walker, but if you do look at the big picture of it, he kind of plays in the same area because Tatum won't grow a set and actually get his nose dirty and get into the paint. It's him, and when he's healthy, Brown and Kemba all standing around outside the outside.
So we traded our first round pick this year and a 2025 second round pick as well.
Do you know what they're getting?
We're getting Al Horford, Moses Brown, and a 2023 second round pick.
Oh, I thought that was a joke when you said Moses Brown. And okay,
no,
maybe this might be a salary move as well.
It's 100% salary move because it was like nobody wanted him.
So I'm thinking somebody's going after. So I'm thinking that maybe Stevens is going to go after someone in the free agency then.
Well, I originally jokingly thought LeBron, and then I really
LeBron James is not going to be a Celtic. Stop it.
Anyway, but I seriously thought after the Clippers were playing so bad, I thought Kawhi might come there.
Now that would be now we talking turkey, baby.
Yeah, but I mean, he's going to make a move. He's going to make a splash. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do.
Oh man, this is great. I hate to say that because I really like Kemba Walker. He's a good player. I just don't think he's in the right fit.
You brought him to Boston.
I know it's my fault. I apologize, Kemba. Y'all who don't follow the show, there's a whole story behind that. But I was one of the first ones to go. Kemba's coming to Boston, baby.
That you were breaking news a year or 6 months before it happened.
I was, man. I don't know if Kemba saw or Danny Ainge saw one of our videos or something. But, okay. But, you know, the thing was, I think if he would have been in the right system, it would have worked. But they're just you expect Tatum at some point to live in the paint. But no, man, I'm too tall. I got to be out here. I got to be chilling. I'm glad they're getting Horford back, man. I miss Horford now.
I liked him in Atlanta. I liked him in Florida. I liked him in Atlanta, and I liked him in Boston. So I've always been a Horford fan.
He's like 60 now, so he's got to be close to 35 years old. But he might have a couple of years left in him. I can't wait to talk about this next week. We'll put a pin in that one. NBA playoffs, Nets, Milwaukee. Look, we all know that there's a good chance that they're going to win the Nets tomorrow night, but it is a game 7 and anything can happen. One guy gets hot and it can change the whole thing.
I mean, we were very close to being right on our 4-2 because they should have won Brooklyn 3 nights ago.
Yeah, they blew that game. They focused too much on Harden 2 games ago, and that's why KD went off for 49. They still got 32 last night, but still, he was put in there as a decoy. The guy did not have it. When you go 1 from 10 from the field, you should have like your worst defender playing like a quasi zone on you, right? Just going, yeah, dude, if you hit a shot, we'll see what happens. But you can just I noticed that during our show that Brian and Michael are talking about shingles and tiles and roofs because of Justin at the beginning of the show talking about having to get an air conditioner fixed. So we might have to change the title of this show. Finding Lumber. Also not that video.
Not safe for work. Don't Google that.
The other 2 series, game 6 tonight, you got Hawks, Philly, you got Jazz, Clippers. Your heart of hearts, who's going to win these series because they will be over with by Sunday?
My heart of hearts, I say it's in Atlanta, man. I'm going to Atlanta, and I'm going Utah to win 2 straight to win it all, or to win that series.
I think the Hawks.
Philly is turning into the Philly that we thought they were.
I really feel like that the Hawks are going to end it tonight. And you would think the Clippers would be able to end it in LA. Because if they can do that to Utah in Utah, but
right.
I'm assuming we're still not going to get Kawhi again unless it's some kind of last second deal like we got with Harden the other night. If we're not going to get him, the Jazz, if they get their head out of their ass, can push it to a game 7, and a game 7 in Utah is going to be hard to beat.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
But man, Donovan Mitchell has got to be the guy. He shouldn't have let that game get away from him in game 5. If you're going to be the guy and you want to be looked upon as one of the better players in the game, you cannot lose to playoff P at home when Kawhi Leonard's sitting over there in street clothes.
I mean, and Gobert, man. Gobert had a horrible night that night. It was just a bad night for Utah. I think they win the next 2. I think Utah is the best team in the league right now.
Not if Chris Paul gets off this COVID junk that they're
right. Yeah, which I mean,
why are they even testing this guy? He's had his vaccination. Or
how is that different than LeBron going to the tequila party?
See, here's the problem. The NBA is not adhering to the CDC protocols. So, yes. and they say that when you get your vax, you could test positive at any point for 3 months after that.
Right.
So like Major League Baseball is not testing their players because they're like, if you've gotten your vaccination, you've proved you've gotten your vaccination, we're not going to test you because there's a good chance you're going to get. But the NBA is still doing it. And they were supposed to be the ones who were out in front listening to the CDC. They're the ones that shut the world down back in March of last year. I don't understand it. All right, it's time to turn back time and get the hell out of here. I still say if Chris Paul is healthy, the Suns are heading to the finals. I have to go up against the Nets. I don't know what the hell, but if they go up,
I'm rooting for them, man. I'm team
against the Bucks. They go against the Bucks. Woo-hoo! That championship's coming to the desert. Those choke artists. All right, here we go. Turn back time on the Armchair Quarterbacks. Remember, programming note, we will have 2 shows tomorrow. We've got the neighborhood play, which is Chicago baseball, a lot of fun there. And then if you want to get into fantasy analytics and help your fantasy baseball team, the payoff pitch. Both of those come on tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Eastern. Of course, we got Braves Country coming your way at the top of the hour. And take me out to the ball game, just your weekly or your daily headlines in the world of sports. Okay, here we go. All right, on this date, man, it is a lot. It's pretty much all golf that happened here. But this is the one I'm going to circle because this one's infamous. And if you've ever seen the ESPN short series, whatever you want to call it, The Bronx is Burning, this is the infamous altercation that took place. Billy Martin and Reggie Jackson get into it in the dugout. And I mean, the fists were about to fly. They had to break it up. You think about the optics of that nowadays. A manager and a player have to be pulled apart. Billy Martin was a tough son of a bitch, man. And that was on this date in 1977, 44 years ago. Why in the hell is this on this date?
Billy Martin's got a name drop the last 2 Fridays. I like it.
On this date in 1989, Curtis Strange wins by 3 over Scott Simpson for first back-to-back U.S. Open title winners since Ben Hogan of 1951, and it hasn't happened since. It's just wow. I was like, why does this picture look like it's from like the 1920s? What is it? Oh, it's Ben Hogan. Okay. Birthdays.
It's your birthday today. What does that
You want dead or alive?
Yes, I'll try to explain that.
Dead.
Happy 97th would have been birthday to George Mikan, one of the all-time greats that none of us ever saw.
All right.
He was the NBA MVP in 1948 for the Minneapolis Lakers.
97. Dang.
Yeah. How old would he be today if he made it? If he was alive today, he never would have made it. One of my favorite lines in Seinfeld.
Never,
it's so
never would have made it.
it's so underrated. And we'll just do that. There's some others, but we'll just wish a happy birthday to Mr. George Mikan if you're listening. Actually played with glasses, with eyeglasses. Like if you ever watch the old film of him, like they wasn't like some kind of like goggle he just had a pair of glasses on. I don't know how he ran up and down the damn. I'm sure they were extremely tight, but I don't know how in the world he ran up and down the court with that on. What is your walk off for the day, sir?
Good. Looking forward to a good weekend, man. There's a lot of stuff I want to watch. This is one of my favorite weekends, not because of Father's Day, just because the U.S. Open is one of my favorite tournaments there is. I love watching Sunday golf on this weekend always, and hopefully Milwaukee wins it. I really don't think they will, but it'll be a good little sports weekend and a lot of pool time. It's supposed to be a nice weekend, some grilling out, so it'll be fun.
My walk-off for the day is the Boston Celtics will be your 2022 NBA champions. This is going to make this team better. It's going to make them tougher with Horford and Brown. It's going to make them more of a cohesive unit. And then I don't know what they're going to add. I'll have to have time to think about that and look at the free agent list. But they're going to add something big and splashy because they're going to have that money available.
Yeah, it's going to be a woman coach. That's going to be the first. That's my walk off. We will hire a woman coach.
All right, well then scratch what I just said about winning the championship. No, I think the girl from San Antonio, I think she's going to stay put, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Kara Lawson. I think that's who they're looking for.
I hope not. I'm not a big fan of hers. She kind of a social media warrior. But anyways, I'll tell you who pops into my mind.
Rick Carlisle.
Rich Carlisle, dude. He's a Celtic, baby. Bring him. He's one of the best coaches in the NBA.
Yeah. I can when I saw it, I saw the bottom line. I was outside, I saw the bottom line, and I was like, I just saw will return, but then I saw not. I was very surprised when I saw will not return. I figured he was a lifer there.
When I saw it, I was busy and I couldn't text to you. I was working. I meant to do it later. I forgot. But first thing I was gonna do is grab that headline and go, "We're back, baby, we're back." Because I got Rich Carlisle coming to the Celtics. And,
I would love that, man. I would love that.
Bring back KG. Bring back Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
Wheel out Larry Bird. Come on, baby.
Yeah. It's going to be a woman or I don't know. It's going to be a woman or Billups. I don't know. But I would love Carlisle.
Jason Kidd. Probably not.
Hey, he did good in Milwaukee. I don't know if
I think it's Carlisle. I think Carlisle said, bruh, I'm a Celtic. I've been trying to get this job my whole life. They're open. I want that job. I guarantee there's been a conversation. If it's not the Celtics, he's had a conversation with somebody with why he would walk away from that team. Now, I do know there's a lot of this between him and Luka Doncic.
And I mean, and Donnie, whatever the guy that just got fired, Donnie Nelson just got fired. So there's a lot of drama in there.
Well, Donnie Nelson stepped down as well because Donnie Nelson was untouchable. He was never going to get fired. Donnie Nelson was. You do remember him coaching, right?
I remember Don Nelson. I don't remember Donnie Nelson.
Yeah, I think that's the same ilk. I want to say, I'm gonna check that real quick. I think it's his son.
That I kept waiting for him to say something about that, but I haven't heard anything about that yet.
I can't remember for sure, but I want to say for sure that yes, he is. He's the son of. What's funny is every time I see him, he looks like Dirk Nowitzki, and I'm like, what happened in Dallas, man? What's going on?
He does look like Dirk. Wow.
Was Dirk banging Donnie Nelson's wife? What's going? I mean, he is a dead ringer for Dirk Nowitzki.
Well, he is.
I'll tell you something else you want to freak yourself out about. Look up Marikawa. When he doesn't have like a hat or anything like that, he looks like dead ringer, but he's taller. Of what's his name? Ken Rosenthal, the reporter for MLB Network and Fox. I saw yesterday. I was like, why is he on the golf course? I go, oh crap, that's Marikawa. That freaked me out. I guess I'd never seen a straight on shot of him. I was like, that is crazy. Anyways, all right, brother. We will see you next week. Great job as always, and we're gonna dive deep into the what the Celtics gonna do. Keep your pants on, Celtics Nation.
We're back, baby.
We're back, baby. We're back. Loving every minute of it, Jerry.
Friday, working stiffs. Everybody.
4, 3, 2, 1. Happy weekend! I've got $100 smoking. Goodbye, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We're back tomorrow with another show. Well, unless we're fired, we'll talk to you then. Goodbye, sweetheart. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Guys and gals, it's time to go. We'll see you on the next show.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Thanks for listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks on these CBS Sports affiliates and catching the show on YouTube Live. We're here weekdays. Find Armchair Quarterbacks on YouTube Live today. Please subscribe and share and take us everywhere you go. The Armchair Quarterbacks, your first choice for Southern sports talk live from the First Coast.
Gonna get another cigarette.